Bridgerton Season 3 has us all in a chokehold, and it is for a good reason. I mean, after that steamy carriage scene, how can we stay cool? I don't know about you guys, but I did not expect things to develop this quickly at all, so when the carriage scene came, I was like, what the hell? But in the best way possible. I was pleasingly surprised by the pacing of this series. It is completely different than Season 2, which was more of a slow burn romance that took an entire season to reach a conclusion. In Season 3, however, Penelope and Colin already confessed their love to one another, and there's still an entire part 2 waiting for us. At this point, there are many questions like what else is left to explore in part 2? Do we have enough material to get even hyped for part 2 of the show? Or is the pacing of Season 3 simply off? Well, according to our beloved cast members, there are more than enough materials to explore in the upcoming episodes, and you will be shocked to see how things will evolve in the Bridgerton universe. First of all, I know that Colin already asked Penelope's hand in marriage in the now viral carriage scene, but apparently we need to forget about it, at least for a while. Why? Well, because such news is not likely to be welcomed by certain family members, particularly Eloise. She's Colin's beloved sister and Penelope's former best friend, and guess what? No one would like to see their brother with the one friend that broke your heart the most. Needless to say, Eloise is expected to react very harshly to the news of Colin and Penelope getting together. According to Claudia Jessie, who acts as Eloise in the show, she will simply be hurt by both Penelope and Colin. I just can't see that she's going to react well. I'm nervous about everybody watching. If the Whistledown thing hadn't happened, I know there's a world in which Eloise would be like, I'm so happy Penelope's potentially gonna be my sister. Just as happy as she was that Kate Sharma was gonna be her sister. But because of the Whistledown thing, I feel like she's gonna be like, oh, and this? So you're Lady Whistledown and you wanna sleep with my brother? Being Lady Whistledown has already cost Penelope a friendship. Would it also cost her the love of her life? I personally don't think so. After all, the whole premise of this series is to have a romantic ending that will inspire us poor girls, right? Nevertheless, things may not go as smoothly as we hope for. Also, there's a high chance that Eloise will spill Penelope's secret to Colin, if not to everyone else. In that case, I don't think that Colin would be fond of the idea that his future wife is actually the biggest town gossip. This situation is likely to lead him to call off the wedding at the very last minute, causing Penelope to leave her beloved career behind. I mean, you can imagine that this is far from a desired ending. The last thing we want to see is a young woman like Penelope being forced to drop her occupation for the sake of love. This is not what this show is about. That being said, based on Jessie's words, I'm not sure how Penelope can find a way out for herself from such a situation. Some fans expect Colin to come out as Lord Whistledown, adding a man's perspective to the gossip realm. I personally believe that this would only happen in Barbie Land, where everyone wears pink-colored glasses, not in Bridgerton, but we will see. Remember, Nicola Coughlan referred to Lady Whistledown as a huge elephant in the room in a previous interview, meaning that this identity reveal will most definitely turn into a crisis in part 2. Besides, we need to remember that Eloise is now besties with our favorite annoying character, Cressida. If she joins our forces with Cressida for the sake of ensuring Lady Whistledown's downfall, things will get only worse for Penelope and Colin. The good thing is, if Eloise would take part in such a betrayal against Penelope, the two old friends would be even. Since both will eventually regret their decision, in fact, Penelope already regrets throwing Eloise under the bus, they will inevitably come back together as besties forever. In the end, Eloise will probably be the one who tries to save Penelope's romance with Colin, feeling guilty for ruining her old best friend's life. According to Luke Newton, Penelope and Colin will get to know each other a lot better in part 2, confirming that he will probably find out the truth about Lady Whistledown. They just keep taking layers off this season, both physically and emotionally. We need to really uncover everything that's been felt over the last however many years they've known each other now. To me, these words signal a lot of romantic scenes ahead, as well as a lot of trauma unfolding. After all, Penelope waited for years for Colin to see her for who she really is. This means she has a lot of hurt memories that awaits for clarification, and Colin owes her a huge apology. Yes, he already did a lot in part 1, but I think it is not enough. It's really easy to think, oh, they've confessed their love for each other and they're going to live happily ever after, but actually, the way it's written, it'll take you every which way. Not gonna lie, Luke's words sound very promising, and even though part of me feels like we witnessed the peak of this romance in part 1, I also believe that Luke is hinting at something huge for part 2, and I can't wait for it. We also have some clues about what to expect in certain episodes. According to showrunner Jess Brownell, episode 5 will have a major party with all the prominent characters together, while episode 6 will have a Demi Lovato song in the background that fits the atmosphere perfectly. Which song do you think it will be? I secretly wish it to be 2013's Heart Attack. From the perspective of Colin, let's admit it, the song would fit him perfectly. According to Adjoa Ando, Season 3 Part 2 will witness all major storylines colliding. She said, "We have the ongoing mystery of Whistledown, we have the breakup of the friendship between Eloise and Penelope, we have the burgeoning romance between Violet and my hideous brother. In Part 2, everything starts to come together. There's a lot of resolving that needs to take place." And she's absolutely right. Even though Penelope and Colin are at the center stage, we have a side romance with Francesca Bridgerton and a friends with benefits type of storyline with Benedict Bridgerton as well. These storylines carry immense importance for the future seasons of the show, but they are the topic of other upcoming videos. For now, let's stick to Penelope and Colin. The pair will return to the screen on June 13, and I personally can't wait to see how their story will unfold. But what do you think? Are you excited for Penelope and Colin, or do you think their romance has ended once they confess to one another? Do you expect a betrayal from Eloise? Do you think Season 3 is falling behind Season 2 so far? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you watched the video until this point, leave me a shh emoji. Know the one that wants to silence people? As I know to protecting Penelope's secret as Lady Whistledown. If you'd like to learn more about the Bridgerton world, click the video on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.